You've read the title and you saw the thumbnail. In the next however long this video is, I'm going to be showing you exactly how I was able to build my own personal brand from over 2,000 random people full of friends and family to over 370,000 converting people, which means that these are people that are already looking to buy what I have to sell. And this is a genuine personal brand that is actually connected to my business and that grows my business. And what better way to demonstrate it than using an iPad? See, the thing when it comes to building a genuine personal brand around your business is the fact that we have to find a perfect balance between value and entertainment. And you hear a lot of people, including myself, talk about things like valuetainment, or some people call it edutainment. And we think that that is supposed to be a 50-50 balance between, okay, I'm going to give 50% value and I'm going to mix that with 50% entertainment. And that's the wrong way to go about it in 2025. When you create content in 2025, especially short form content, it should be extremely tailored to your ideal audience. See, followers are literally dying. And if you ask people like me, I would consider followers to be dead. Jaden, what are you talking about? When it comes to social media, a lot of the times, I will follow people and never see their content. I will follow people who I have similar interests in, or friends and family, or entrepreneurial friends, and I will never see their content. However, I like one post and I will see multiple different types and variations of that one niche of the post that I just liked. For example, I challenge everybody watching this. Literally, if you're on this video right now, I challenge you to open up your phone, your iPad, your laptop, whatever device that you use social media on, and go to a platform like TikTok or Instagram and like 3 tennis videos in a row. Literally go to your search bar and type in tennis and like 3 tennis posts in a row. I guarantee you that when you refresh your Explore page or your For You page, aka your FYP, it will show you 10 times more tennis. What does this mean? This means that algorithms are what I like to call audience aligned, which means that your content will be shown to people and shown on For You pages and shown on Explore pages of people who the platform thinks your video is for. It can be very hard to figure out what content actually to tailor to my audience. And so that's exactly what this video is for. Commence the iPad. All right, so I'm gonna be completely honest here. There are 3 different categories. So I'm going to call it 3 different. There are 3 different categories that actually translate over into extremely good content. I'm gonna call it CC. CC stands for converting content. And these 3 categories are extremely essential. A tip for every single entrepreneur and business owner watching this right now. When I give you these 3 categories, I don't want you to use them and post these categories as series. I don't want you to post these categories randomly. No, I want these 3 categories to serve as the foundation of every single thing that you post. And this first category is exactly what I like to call walk in the park. See, your walk in the park content has literally, I would call it about 3 different uses. The first use is just ease. When you think about walking in the park, you think of it being easy, you think of it being quick, you think of it being just joyful. And that's exactly how we want to treat this category of content. We want to treat it as easy pieces of content. What does that mean? Well, that means that you should grab your phone and create content that is easy. A lot of the times as entrepreneurs, and I know this for a fact, so don't lie to me. A lot of the times as entrepreneurs, we go throughout our day and sometimes we think of random things that, oh snap, if our audience knew this, that would be amazing. But see, what a lot of us do is we like to wait till we get to a nice pretty setup like this. We like to set up our audio and we like to press record and then we have to wait for our editor to edit it. No. Let's take the walk in the park approach, which is extremely easy content. What are these different categories? These different categories can be things like green screens. So you can go to every single platform that you desire and do a green screen within platform. And these are also what I like to call selfie, aka FaceTime. Yes, my handwriting is horrible. I wasn't prepared. Green screen videos and selfie/FaceTime style pieces of content are extremely easy for you as the entrepreneur who's creating content for your business to just get the message out. Usually, this type of content also reaches a lot of people. So this category is dealt, aka meant for a lot of reach. Why? Because people are tired of the overproduction. People are tired of the over edit, and they're more likely to listen to the message that you have. And they're more likely to listen to you as the authority if how you're showing up is just extremely easy and it feels close to home for them. But this will also double back in one of the later categories. The last reason that we need to be creating walk in the park content is just for, hear me out, low barrier to entry. I don't even know if I spelled barrier right, but if I didn't, oh well. Spelling doesn't make me money. Knowing how to make some really good content does. So when I say low barrier to entry, here's what I mean. A lot of people will come up with the excuse of, yo, I can't make proper content for my business simply because I don't have the best audio, or I don't have the best camera setup. I don't have the Shure SMB7, whatever the name of that microphone is. I don't have this, or I don't have that. See, when it comes to walk in the park content, aka content that is extremely simple, that is usually recorded on something like an iPhone or sometimes even an iPad, this is content that doesn't matter about the gear. This is content that is prioritizing getting the message out there to your audience, and I promise you that this will reward you. Why is this important in the first place? Well, this content is important not just for the simple fact of being able to get the message out there, but this content builds the momentum. See, a lot of people think that growing on social media looks like this. Ta-da! That's supposed to be a straight line. They think that growing on social media looks like that, and I'm gonna be completely honest, they have never been more wrong in their entire life. See, growing on social media is actually a game of momentum. See, you start out slow and then you shoot up randomly as your content compounds over itself. But your content can never compound if you never have a catalog of content. And walk in the park style of content allows you to just build out a catalog. Now, as you grow your audience, these walk in the park people are gonna need a little bit more, which then brings me to category number 2, is I'm actually just gonna change the color. And this category is what I personally like to call Mama's Cooking. See, when it comes to Mama's Cooking is designed for 2 main reasons. The first reason is just special. See, when you eat your mama's cooking, it just feels special to you. And it's something that you want to take with you, not just as leftovers, but it's something that you want to learn how to make yourself, AKA developing. See, when your content allows your audience to develop themselves within your content, it turns into sales hand over fist. Why? Because people care about this second category, which is called nurturing. Most of you who's watching this, and I don't wanna sound, negative, but a lot of you watching this right now, your content isn't converting. It's just sitting there and it's just collecting dust on the shelf of the TikTok, the Instagram, and the YouTube algorithm. Why is that? Because it's not nurturing enough. Yes, you may have gotten past the walk in the park content, but when it comes to that next level, people are going to need that nurturing aspect. How do we deliver a nurturing aspect to our content? It is very simple, and please don't overthink this. For the love of God, I'm going to give you one thing to take away from this video when it comes to Mama's Cooking, and that is 24-hour rule. AKA, and I'm going to double up and give you another one just to go along with that, because some of these may not be 24-hour rules. A lot of these are just implementation, and I know that looks a little bit funny, but anyway, implementation and the 24-hour rule will allow you to create Mama's Cooking style of content with ease. Here's what that means. See, the 24-hour rule is this. After watching your piece of content, within 24 hours of finishing that video, finishing that carousel, your audience, whether they're old, young, black, white, regardless of your niche, within 24 hours, they can go and start to implement or change something. Whether it's doing the step-by-step that you gave within the video, whether it's changing a mindset, whether it's ordering a book, whether it's looking something up online, whether it's taking action on that cooking recipe, regardless of what it is, if your audience can start to take action and implement within 24 hours of watching your piece of content, it is golden, and it is a nurturing style of content, aka, what I like to call Mama's Cooking. But sometimes a lot of what we give may not be implementable within that 24 hours, so I just wrote down here implementation. See, implementation is extremely important throughout your content. Why is this so important, Jaden? Because your audience needs to level up. If your content levels them up, whether it's through information or transformation, both are extremely important, by the way. If you want me to make an entire separate video on that, I can, because this brain is full of nothing but content stuff. Anyways, implementation is extremely important, because if your audience, and as your audience develops throughout your content, they go from a journey of, okay, cool, you're a cool kind of person with some cool kind of information, all the way to somebody who is literally begging you to buy something from you. They go from, yo, okay, you kind of cool, I kind of like you. You're a little bit different from what I see usually on the internet, all the way to somebody who's like, yo, I don't know what you're offering, but I need to kind of start to take the steps necessary to become your student, to look at your products, to book a call for your services, all throughout nurturing. And that doesn't happen if you're not able to nurture them. It's the same reason why when you collect somebody's email, you continue to email them over time. Why? Because these emails that you're sending them are subconsciously allowing them to take a journey with you and your company, and they eventually go from non-buyer and ghost follower and ghost viewer all the way to somebody who was literally begging you to buy what you have to sell. Now, that is the second category, which is mama's cooking. Now, we have one more category, and this is the category that's going to tie everything together. Why is this important? And I'm going to say this before I even draw out the title of it. See, quality is one of the best things that you can do for your content. See, when you get past this first level of walk in the park, where you just create your iPad or your iPhone selfie style content, there needs to be an urgency to level up the look and the feel of your content, which is going to tie into the last category, which I like to call Sunday's best. See, think about Sunday. I don't know if you're religious, but I am. So every Sunday I go to church. What happens when I go to church? I like to put on clothes that make me feel nice. I like to put on clothes that make me look nice and look presentable. This is why people put on suits and go to church. This is why people wear ties. This is why women wear dresses and wear makeup. It's important how you look. You want to put on your Sunday's best, and think of that within your content. See, back to the quality thing that I spoke about. Quality is one of the best things that you could do for your content. Why? Because people are visual creatures. And guess what? Content is a virtual thing. You can't feel me through my content. You can only hear my voice through the other side of the screen. You can only see what I edit. And so if your first impression of your audience from longevity standpoint and from a just continuous of you showing up, if your first impression of them is low quality and bad information, then that's not good. However, when you put on your Sunday's best and you look like somebody that can help them level up, and let me just write this down flat out in big letters. When you look like somebody that can help them get to the next level, when you sound like somebody that can help them get to the next level, and when you speak in a way about a certain subject that they've never heard anybody speak about it before, that is your Sunday's best. And this category is meant for one reason and one reason only. I'm going to call it over the edge. See, sometimes, and not even sometimes, a lot of the times, your audience is this close to buying from you. And the only thing that is stopping them from buying from you throughout your content is the fact that you have to say the right thing in the right way and show up in the right way. And this is how you do that through Sunday's best. A couple different ways to do that is invest in things like audio, invest in things like your camera quality, This is the time to do that. Or just better the way that you present your information. So if you don't have the wherewithal to buy a camera, which a lot of you here should and probably do, if you don't have the wherewithal to invest in some crazy mics, which a lot of you watching this should and do have the wherewithal, invest in the way that you present your information first. If you could just change the way that you present your information and improve the quality of information, you will improve the way that your content converts tenfold. Now, I'm gonna do a very, very, very quick recap because I promise you these three categories is quite literally and single-handedly exactly what changed my life when it comes to content. First and foremost is walk in the park. Walk in the park content, I want you to think, close your eyes and envision walking in the park. How does it feel? It feels easy, it feels simple, and it kind of pulls you into nature. Think like that for your content. You want your audience to be pulled into your ecosystem, but you want the content that you're producing to be easy. You want it to be built for reach, and you want it to be a low barrier of entry. This is why I like green screen and selfie style pieces of content. So that's walk in the park. Next is Mama's Cooking. See, Mama's Cooking is designed to be nurturing and fulfilling. See, how do you do this? You do this by putting implementation within your content, giving your audience actionable items, give them something to implement and double points if you can allow it to be within 24 hours of watching your piece of content. And then last but not least is Sunday's Best. Sunday's Best just in quality, not just visual quality, not just audio quality, but also quality of the information that you are sharing. And I promise you, after watching this video, if you implement anything over a longer period of time than you're used to, right? Going viral isn't the way to grow your business online. I can promise you that. It's not about creating content for a week and expecting people to buy from you, which can happen. No, it's about creating content for 30 days to 60 days and then being able to see results consistently. But I promise you, if you implement this stuff that I told you for the next 30 to 60 days, you will start to see results and you will see a change within how people react to your content. Now, I'm just getting started with this YouTube stuff. I have a bunch more videos in the pipeline. So if you want to see those older videos in the pipeline, comment them down below. Also, if you look down below, I have some links because this week I'm actually hosting a free masterclass for all entrepreneurs to join if you are a coach, a course creator, or consultant, or if you're in the education space or anything around there and you're looking to figure out, yo, how can I level up my content to actually bring me business from short form and a long form perspective? You might want to join that masterclass. It is absolutely free. Or if you just want to put down below what you are struggling with in a content standpoint, put it down below because I will make a video about it, I promise. But other than that, hope this information was extremely valuable to you. Go watch this video because it is extremely important and it actually ties into upping the quality of your value that you are presenting to your audience. And I will see you in the next one. Peace. Thank me later.